It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories in 90 seconds.
More than anything, our DPS community has been fractured by these false allegations, and I am left and compelled to try to heal the divisions from which this situation has caused.
Tay Anderson is returning to the Denver School Board, even as an investigation into him is ongoing, and that isn't sitting well with some parents.
So as parents, we really need to be the voice for them and say until the investigation is complete, he shouldn't be back on the school board.
The battle over Broncos ownership has ended for now. We have the latest twist in the saga among the Bolin family.
We can expect to see hospitalizations rise. We'll probably see deaths go up.
Health officials are sounding the alarm with the Delta variant quickly spreading nationwide.
It's disappointing and disheartening that we're literally seeing lives lost due to those who aren't getting vaxxed.
Plus, DIA goes dark. We have the latest update from the airport after a power outage today. And some Coloradans help a bear clear its head.
Well, Drew said he wanted to tackle it, and I said, I don't know if I want a part of that.
Good Wednesday evening, and thank you for watching Denver7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter. Tay Anderson is returning to his position on the Denver School Board, even as an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct is ongoing. Anderson took a break from his duties on the board as the school district opened an investigation into claims. But now Anderson says enough time has passed without any evidence, and he is ready to return to his work serving the public. Denver7's Eddie Guajardo leads our coverage.
I'm formally announcing my return to my full duties as a duly elected member on the Denver Public Schools Board of Education.
Supporters of Tay Anderson came out in force, clapping and defending.
Make accusations without no proof.
His right to return to the DPS Board of Education after stepping back following allegations of sexual assault.
Nor have I even been contacted by a single law enforcement agency.
Anderson today criticized the length of the investigation and says no credible evidence has emerged to support any accusations. Back in March, Black Lives Matter 5280 claimed a woman came forward and accused Anderson of sexually assaulting her. In May, new allegations came to light when a woman testified before a legislative committee declaring a sexual predator was in the school system and targeted more than 60 students. Anderson was not specifically named by the woman, but in a letter Anderson released, he accused DPS of naming him as a serial predator. Anderson has never been charged, but as the investigation continues, parents are up in arms.
It just brings up a lot of anger
About his return before the investigation concludes.
He should take into account that an investigation does take time, especially where there's an allegation of sexual misconduct.
The investigation isn't complete yet. I understand that he's eager to get back to work, but we're talking about children, the most vulnerable members of our society who don't often have a voice for themselves. So as parents, we really need to be the voice for them and say until the investigation is complete, he shouldn't be back on the school board.
The school board also released a statement reading in part, "We believe a young black man deserved due process and a fair evaluation of anonymous allegations that were made on social media." The investigation is expected to wrap up in 4 to 5 weeks. And so far, the investigation has cost more than $50,000, and the school district is willing to pay more to make sure that every stone is unturned. Tonight, Tay Anderson saying that he's received threats and even had suicidal thoughts over these allegations. He says now he's ready to get back to work, and he's committed to providing these students the tools to prevent suicide. He also plans to finish his term with the school board, which ends in 2023. Reporting live in downtown, Addie Guajardo, Denver7.
Addie, thank you. Now, Anderson stepped back from his position for a total of 7 weeks. He missed 1 school board meeting. Per the DPS school board charter, members can only miss 3 consecutive meetings before their position is considered vacant. We have Tay Anderson's full letter of intent to return to the school board on the denverchannel.com. There you'll also find our full in-depth coverage of this investigation. Taking a live look right now from our Lookout Mountain camera over the Front Range, we have cloudy skies tonight. Let's send it to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson now. Mike, showers are still on the radar?
There are some out there, but they've diminished quite a bit in the last hour or two. And a pretty shot from our camera out at City Park. A nice looking sunset in the Denver area. And a beautiful shot from our camera at Westminster, furnished by the Westin Hotel up there. Darker skies in Alt, that's looking back toward Fort Collins. Wildfire smoke and ozone alerts continue. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue as well. Not much over the metro now. It's moved off to the east of us. Some heavier activities moving from Estes Park down to Loveland and Fort Collins, and a little stronger activity out in Morgan County, parts of Washington County, up into Logan County. Everything's on the decrease tomorrow. We'll see more sunshine, warmer temperatures, but still some scattered storms. Forecast coming up in a few.
Thank you, Mike. The Bolins are no longer battling out ownership over the Broncos in court. A long legal case was dismissed today in Arapahoe County. This goes all the way back to 2009 when a trust led by Broncos CEO Joe Ellis was formed to decide who should succeed Pat Bolin as team owner upon Bolin's death or incapacitation. Bolin died in 2019 following a fight with Alzheimer's. Ellis has appeared to favor Bolin's daughter Brittany taking the reins, but Beth Bolin Wallace argued her father was not mentally aware when signing the documents. Both sides have now agreed to let that matter lie. Breckenridge police are looking for a woman missing since Saturday night. Leslie Culver was visiting Breck with her husband and daughter. Her family says she walked away from Main Street Saturday and said she was getting a ride, possibly to see a friend in Vail. That was the last time anyone reported hearing from her. Foul play is not currently suspected. The Delta variant of COVID-19 is quickly spreading across the United States. Cases are up more than 10% in at least 42 states. As of now, Colorado is not on that list of states. Cases are spiking the most in areas where vaccination rates remain low. Here is ABC's Whit Johnson.
Tonight, the highly contagious Delta variant taking hold across the country, now estimated to account for nearly 58% of all new COVID cases. At least 44 states and territories reporting a weekly increase.
We can expect to see hospitalizations rise. We'll probably see deaths go up.
Cases in New York City more than doubling in just 1 week, from 182 on July 6th to 429 on July 12th, fueled by the Delta variant. Los Angeles County seeing a 500% jump in COVID cases over the past month. Health officials saying all of those hospitalized are not fully vaccinated.
The Delta variant is here in California. It's spreading and it's spreading past.
And concern growing for kids who are not yet eligible for a vaccine. In Mississippi, health officials reporting 7 children with COVID are being treated in ICUs, 2 of them on ventilators.
These seem to be more classic COVID symptoms: fever, cough, respiratory illness. And I suspect that's probably because this Delta variant is imparting a little more severe illness in the pediatric population.
In West Dallas, police officer and father Arnolfo Pargas is on a ventilator fighting for his life. His wife says he was so focused on helping others get vaccinated, but he failed to do it himself.
He was working the day we went and he was supposed to come with us, and he's like, no, you guys go ahead and go, I'll go later. And he said it too, I should have just went and got vaccinated.
And experts at Yale University estimate that vaccines have likely prevented about 250,000 COVID cases in New York City and more than 8,000 deaths. The city also saying that more than 98% of those who were either hospitalized or died from COVID this year were not fully vaccinated. Whit Johnson, ABC News, New York.
Whit, thank you. Coming up tonight on Denver7 News at 10, our Shannon Ogden speaks to local health officials about the main concerns they're seeing with the rise in cases of the Delta variant. A power outage caused delays at DIA today. The FAA issued a ground stop that impacted about 80 flights. To put that in perspective, there were about 1,700 flights at the airport today. The ground stop lifted at around 4, but delays were expected to last into the evening. The circus has made its way to the Front Range, and this isn't any old circus, it's an animal-free Broadway-style circus. The Bernardo Circus opened at the Aspen Grove Shopping Center today in Littleton. It will be there until July 25th. It will then make its way to Outworld Brewing in Longmont from July 28th to August 8th.
We heard a rustle down in the woods, so we went down to investigate, and we saw the bear running through the woods, the one with a bucket on his head.
And that bear had been seen running around with a bucket on its head for more than a week.
It's almost like the bear was saying, hey, I need some help.
After the break, how these guys safely were able to get that bear help.
Some scattered strong thunderstorms continue across the states. Will they return for tomorrow?
And coming up later, one Denver neighborhood has gotten used to new development.
Projects like these help drive with things like gentrification, right, the displacement of our peoples.
But now they're working to reclaim their land.
Reparations goes beyond the monetary, and it goes deeper into a question of how communities define reparations for harm done in the past.